Are you like me and leave crochet projects to the last minute because you just kind of forgot that you were actually going to crochet something and you only have a week to crochet it because a certain movie comes out and you need to get it done before that movie comes out? Welcome to my world, because that's what we're doing today. Beetlejuice, the second Beetlejuice movie, is coming to theaters in September the 6th, which is Friday. But this video is coming out on the 8th because I forgot to do something beforehand. Anyways, it's 2 days later. Okay, people are still gonna watch it. It's fine. It's fine. So I decided that I want to make a Beetlejuice sweater. And here's the thing. I was thinking about it all summer long. I'm like, I'll do it. Don't worry. It comes out later. It comes out in October. It comes out late October. No, it comes out the beginning of September. And I didn't really realize that until my sister's like, hey, like the Beetlejuice comes out next week. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean that it comes out next week? I'm not gonna go too extreme with it. Like, would I have liked to do like a tapestry project? Sure. Do I have the time to do a tapestry project? No. Also, I have a really good tapestry project for October that really needs my attention, so I don't want to get burnt out with two big projects. I'm just going to be doing the thing that I've been doing basically all summer, and that is the granny stitch. The colors I'm going to be doing are these, plus a white. Usually I use an off-white or a cream white, but I went out and I bought myself a white color, and guess where it is? It's in the house. And guess where I am? Not in the house right now, and I'm not gonna go get it right now because by the time I get back I will be a sweaty garbage mess, and I just don't want to do that. I'll put a photo right here. Here's the white. It is the Pound of Love by Lions brand. This is also Pound of Love by Lions brand, and this is the black. Besides that white, which I just didn't have, even though you've probably seen me clean out my yarn storage, I don't really have a white. And then I'm actually gonna be using these. Funny enough, these two colors are from former Halloween tapestry projects, okay? This is from last year. This is the Haunted House. This is the purple that I used. And this is from the year before. This is that split pumpkin face. Yarns from previous Halloween projects that I'm gonna put into this one. Loops and threads, impeccable. And they are a 4-weight medium yarn. This color here is called Grape Punch. And then this one here, I was debating because it was between this one and I think Jasmine. So this one is called Guacamole. I keep wanting to call it avocado. It's guacamole. The other one is Jasmine, and that one was more of like a fluorescent green. Let's go get it. That's the good thing about having my yarn in the same place that I film. This was the other green that I was thinking about using, and this was actually the same green that I used for this project. These were the green windows in that haunted house. So you can kind of see the difference. This purple, it's kind of very saturated. And I feel like the guacamole green is also very saturated. So I think that these two will just look much better together. This one kind of just sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the purple. I don't know, it's like vibrant but also dull at the same time. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't think it will look good. It's off. Like, I like it, but it just doesn't go with the rest of the colors, and so that's why I went with this. Now again, I was really debating between these two, but I have a full skein of yarn of this, and I don't have a full skein of yarn of this, which means I have to go buy more yarn. And although I love buying yarn, I just don't really want to. This one is more slime green, where this one is more like neon, glow-in-the-dark, spooky green. Okay, I'm gonna go with the slime. The idea is very simple. Okay, it's just gonna be stripes, and they're gonna go this way because that's how I like to do it. They are going to be alternating color. What I thought is, when I think of Beetlejuice, I think of white, black, green, and purple. Where the purple comes in, not entirely sure, but when I think of Beetlejuice, I think of purple, so it's gonna be in there. But the idea is for the top, like for the front and back and the sleeves, it's going to be stripes, and it's gonna be alternating. The stripes are gonna be with the green, the black, and the white. And then what I decided is for the collar, the cuffs, and the bottom ribbing, I'm gonna use the purple. I think that will look good because then the purple's like that accent color, and then the main colors of Beetlejuice is the main thing of the project. That pretty much sums up this project. I hope to start it tonight. I just literally finished this project this morning. If you haven't checked it out, it's the Klaus scarf, Umbrella Academy season 4, and it's pretty much the only good thing that came out of that season. Also, this isn't my first Beetlejuice inspired outfit. I have made costumes before, and I had found a red dress that looks exactly like Lydia's from a thrift store, and I altered it to make it look more like her dress. So with this and the white, I'm going to start this project, and I think I'll have enough yarn because I am alternating, and because it's a granny stitch, I hope it gets done pretty fast. It's just the ribbing, I think that might take me a little bit. The last time I made a sweater, I don't remember. I'm really glad to be getting back into my sweaters. If you are new to my channel and you like crocheting and me crocheting things, sometimes they're random, sometimes they're not. Most of the time, I don't have a plan. I'm like, that's a good idea, and then somehow I get it done. Why not hit that subscribe button? First, I have to figure out how big to make the sweater. Now, if you're part of my Patreon, you'll probably recognize this. It is my temperature blanket. It is also made out of a stitch that I'm gonna do basically from like this part down. We don't want to talk about that because I ended up switching yarns to a thicker yarn. It's fine. But from this part down is the same thickness of the yarn. This is all like loops and threads. I grabbed this, my favorite sweater. I think I wore this one the most last year, and I really just like how it fits. I'm going to basically see how many stitches I need like across, and then how many stitches I need up to down, like how many rows, and then that's my math. It's basically this. If I need to go higher or shorter with this stitch, it's easier for up and down, but for across, once it's set, and I'll have to take it apart if I don't like it. And then I'm also going to do the same thing with the sleeves. So let me go do that. After calculating it, it was really easy, and I'm kind of scared that it might have been too easy. I need to do 35 rows up for the front and the back, and then 20 of these little granny stitches across. I'm thinking about the first row, like this row is 20, and then for the sleeve, it's 30 rows up, it's folded in half. It was 8 of these little clusters, so you just times that by 2, so it's 16. I literally just started this project, and who's here? Who's here causing havoc again? You just have to be the center of attention, don't you? She knows when I'm filming, and she has to come and be the star. Yesterday, I finished the back panel. Goes like this. So this is the back panel. I think like it looks pretty good. Now, if you want to make a crochet sweater and you just want to get it done, granny stitch. Just granny stitch this thing. I think this might have been maybe 4 hours of work. Now, I was gonna do the front piece first, but I have seen photos online where it's like the collar kind of goes into the granny stitch, so you would go, stop, and like go back and forth and like leave like a square. And I kind of want to do that because I've never done that before, and I'm like, you know what, these are also colors that I normally don't use a lot. Again, warm tone gal. I don't have to say anything. You can clearly see from my room that I like warm tone colors. I digress. I'm gonna be working on the front panel today, and then maybe the sleeves, start the sleeves a little bit. Did actually make it a little bit longer than I normally would, just because I want to play around with that, because for the ribbing on the bottom, I don't want to do it too cinched in. Like, I just want ribbing on the bottom, and that's it. I don't want it to like taper in like I normally do for all my sweaters. I want it to be a little bit more boxy, a little bit more flowy. So I just made it a little bit longer, so maybe I don't have to make the ribbing as long, you know, because ribbing takes forever, and I haven't done ribbing on a project. I'm just like looking over at my projects in a really long time. This is like really cute, and I wasn't too sure if these colors were gonna give off Beetlejuice or what I wanted. Looking at it, yeah, I think it gives off that vibe. It's my interpretation of Beetlejuice, so I think like it's artsy, it's creative, it's fine. Of course, I'm gonna be watching Beetlejuice if I'm making a Beetlejuice project, and I think I picked a pretty good green. Like, I think that this green looks pretty good. I think the other one would have been way too light, because if you look at the scene, see that green? It's bright, it's neon, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's fluorescent. So I think that the green I picked is a good color, because I was debating. I'm like, did I pick the good green? I did. Also, I don't think I'm gonna have enough green for the whole project, which means I'm gonna have to buy a green tomorrow. I really hope this is enough green today, because again, it is a holiday Monday and everything is closed. And every holiday Monday, it seems to be when I may or may not run out of yarn, or I need yarn. So hopefully I can get the front panel done today with this amount. So really hoping I can. This is as far as I've gotten so far today. I got 1 row green done. Looking at this, I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of green, but I think right around here is going to be the neck. I know I'm not going to have to do a full row of green. Went to my camper, and then this is what was left over. It's the same color, by the way. Like, I know it's the same color. Hopefully these two can just get me to the finish line today of just doing the front panel. I just need the front panel to be done, and then tomorrow I'll go buy yarn. I really didn't want to buy yarn for this project except for this white, but again, I did not have a white. I've always had an off-white, so I needed a white. But anyways, I'm gonna have to buy more of this green. Unfortunately, we'll figure that out. I got pretty far today. I'm gonna finish it. If you look over here, I tried it on, kind of mapped out how wide I want the neck to be. I don't know if I should have it wider than that or not. I don't know how wide. I still have to do another row of green, another 2 rows of green, another 2 rows of white, and another 2 rows of blue. This is going to remain open because this is where I'm going to put the neckline. I don't know how this is going to fit because I've never done it like this before. So what I'm thinking is if I needed more space, it's fine. I'll make a shorter ribbing around the neck, or I'm like, oh, this is like too big for my neck. Then I'll make a bigger ribbing around the neck, if that makes sense. So now what I gotta do is I just have to go back and forth this way until I got all my rows, and then I switch and I go over here and go back and forth until I have all my rows, and then I can start the arms. But I will need to go to Michael's tomorrow and get more yarn because this and this is all I have, and that's not enough to do both arms. I'm really surprised that I got enough to do the front panel. I was stressing for a little bit. I feel like my videos are just a little too boring because a lot of times I'll shoot my intro, you see my face, you see me doing things, and then like the rest of it is just my hands crocheting, and of course Totoro. I mean, like, that's not boring. Totoro jazzes it up, if anything. And then you see me at the end. What I'm really trying to do is get more into this vlog kind of style. So I think every day that I work on a project, I'll film a little me and showing you updates. I feel like that's how I'm gonna film from now on. I just kind of got into this rut, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta change it up. So this is me changing it up. Hopefully you guys like seeing my face more, and if you don't, I'm sorry. I got most of this done yesterday, and then at Yarn Club, I either did this side or I did this side. This is the front. It's gonna look, wow, you know what? It's like, it was really hard for me to see, but like being this far away and like the stripes look so good. But then like up close, you really see like that granny stitch, right? But then back, it's just stripes. So I really like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 granny stitches in the middle, and that's where my neck is gonna go. Now, I probably could have went a little bit lower. I really don't know how this neck is gonna shape up because I haven't done something like this. So again, like I had mentioned, in my thought process, I'm like, either I'm gonna have to make a bigger collar or a shorter collar. So if I have to make a shorter collar, I'm okay with that because that's fine. But if I have to like really make a bigger collar, again, ribbing takes a little bit of time to do, so the shorter collar would be easier. I have the back and the front done. Granny stitch sweaters. Blows my mind how fast I did it. At Yarn Club, I started to work on the working on the sleeve. So this is one sleeve. Again, fold it in half. And it's going to be chunky. I really like the oversizedness of a sleeve, and then I want to do like a really chunky cuff because I love a good chunky cuff. I'm trying to figure out what this type, you see how like big this is, like how long? That is kind of what I want. I might even do it a little bit longer, we'll see. And what's funny is that this morning I actually wore this. It's my favorite one, and I always get like compliments on it, and then I also always get questions about this because yes, I do have a pattern for it, kind of. Okay, it's not a real written pattern. I don't know how to write patterns, but enough people wanted this that I just kind of gave my measurements and the sizes of this and like the colors that I picked and all that jazz. But like, it's the ripple stitch. There's so many tutorials on YouTube on how to do a ripple stitch. The ripple stitch, so easy. It's very similar to a zigzag chevron stitch if you've done that. In the video that I did make this, I said it was the most boringest thing ever because it was so repetitive and it was too easy, in my words. This is probably my most worn sweater that I've made, that I've worn in like the whole entirety of me crocheting. It's this one right here. And I think that this is, it's either a half double or a double. I think it's a half double, or it could be a double. I don't remember. It's not a single, I know that. This is just the ripple stitch, and I made 4 panels. front, back, a panel each for a sleeve. Such an easy project to do. It's just the ripple stitch. I thought I would bring that up. But anyways, I was able to wear this today. It was so nice. And then I went to Yarn Club and it got a little bit warmer out, so I wore this shirt, which is also like one of my favorite shirts because it says dead inside and it's a hearse. While I was in Michael's, I kind of got distracted by the Halloween stuff because it's something I've never seen before. They have spooky Halloween shirts. It says 'tis the season. And it's just 3 skeletons and I love it so much. Anywho, I want to say I'm gonna start crocheting, but one of the characters on my Animal Crossing island that I didn't like that moved in without my consent, he decided to leave and I need to find a new character to bring into that island. But I have a very certain theme for my island, and so that way I have to find a certain character that fits that certain theme. And I have had no luck for the last like 4 months. But anyways, I have a bunch of those Nook Mile tickets and I need to spend them all and find someone for my island, and that might take an hour or 2 until I run out of Nook Miles and I can't do it anymore. And only people who will play Animal Crossing will understand my frustration right now. But I'm gonna do that now because tomorrow a new character might have moved into my island that I don't want. I'm gonna do that first and then I'll get into crocheting. Last night I was able to get 1 sleeve done, and now I'm going to, she goes this way, like this is going to be on the cuff. I want the white to be next to the purple. I think that would look good. So this is the 1 sleeve. Again, it's going to be folded over and sewn, and the cuff, and then that's going to get attached to the regular sweater. So I'm going to get the second one done today. I'm going to get it done, like I'm going to get it done. I got the second sleeve done, so now all of the parts are all done, which is great. Now I just have to weave in the ends, but luckily, because I was kind of smart this time, every time I started a new color, instead of like cutting the yarn, starting a new yarn, I just took, say like white, I finished here, I just pulled it up and then just went. So I just have like all these like little strings on the end and I'm not cutting them. I'm just gonna leave them. That means I only have like 2 ends to tie in here or to like, you know, weave in. And then I got 3 to weave in up there. There's nothing to weave in on this side because I started on this side. So I would go, then I'd go back, and then start the new color. So yeah, now I just have to put them together. Here's Totoro, really trying to finish this. Why did I make you that nice couch if you're never gonna use it anymore? Stop, you're gonna break the threads on the yarn. Doesn't care, she's beating it up. Totoro, stop this madness. You have to stop the madness, Totoro. She's just, stop it. You have to stop. Okay, I did it. I'm really tired. I really wanted to do more. I wanted to do all the ribbing. No, it's not gonna happen today. I'm way too tired. Everything is now sewn together, and that's what's important. Also, this is what the neckline turned out like, so you can see that big opening. Now this opening is like way bigger than I would have it, again, because I'm going to be putting the purple collar, the ribbing in here, and hopefully that will make it look good. All the parts are crocheted and it's all sewn together, so tomorrow I have a fresh slate where I'm just going to work on ribbing, and I may or may not weave in the ends. We'll see. We'll see. Yesterday, I finished the second sleeve and I attached everything together. So this is kind of what it's looking like. It looks pretty good. This looks like so cute. Like I feel like I could even leave this as is and it will be adorable. I think I made the sleeves just a little bit too long, unfortunately. Like I started here and I left off here. So if I wanted to make them shorter, I would have to unstitch this and take this off. I'm not doing that. It's not happening. They are a little bit longer. I think I would have rather them maybe go to here just because that ribbing. I'm still gonna make the chunky ribbing, so they're just gonna be really billowy, and I love that look anyway, so it's fine. I do have to still do the opening for the neck. I think the neck opening is like okay, like it's an okay size because again, ribbing is gonna go here. And I also really do like the length. I feel like sometimes what ends up happening is that when I do the length, I crop it too much and I can't really make up that length with the ribbing without the ribbing being like too giant, and then it's just sometimes uncomfortable to wear. You know what I mean? I think for this one here, I really like how like billowy it is, so I don't think I'm gonna do the ribbing too cinched in, like too intense. But for the ribbing for the cuffs, it's gonna be really intense. Like they're really gonna go in a lot. Although like I don't mind the look, just not the look that I'm going for. Very happy that I have it all put together. I really wanted to start the ribbing last night, but honestly, it was like 8:30. I was just tired. I was so tired that like my brain couldn't focus on anything. And I know when I get like that, it means watch some TikToks and go to sleep, because I'm not gonna do whatever I wanna do properly. And then the next day, I'm probably just gonna have to take it out and do it again, because I know I didn't do it right. Today, we're gonna start off with the collar, and then we're gonna do the bottom, and then I'm gonna do the cuffs, and then it will be done. And then of course I'll like weave in all the ends, but I really like how these stripes are looking. I think it's looking pretty cute. Anyways, going to do the ribbing now. I got the collar done, and I even got the bottom ribbing done. Back in the day, like when I first started making these sweaters, I felt like ribbing took forever to do, and it might be because I normally do anywhere from 7 to 10 like stitches down, where this is only 5, just because of how long this already is. I really wanted the ribbing to be like at least 7 or 8 stitches, but it was already so long that I just don't feel like it needs to be that long. Also, I do want to point out, I don't want to say I hate myself, but I can't believe that I have made so many sweaters over the years, and only this project do I realize of how nice this looks on me and how nice it fits when I stop here and leave like a big square opening. Like this collar is what I have been trying to achieve from my very first sweater that I've ever made. This is the collar that I wanted. This is what I wanted to achieve. Like the way this is shaped, it fits my neck really nice. You'll see it. I'm not going to try it on until the final reveal, because I just have to do the cuffs now. Just the way this feels and this looks on me, this is how a collar is supposed to fit. The way I was doing it before, it was way too claustrophobic. It was way too like much on my neck, but I lived with it because I'm like, this is what it's supposed to happen. No. I want to make so many sweaters now just because I want to make this collar on all of them, because I love it so much. Anyways, I am now going to work on the sleeves. I don't think the sleeves are going to take me too long, because I'm going to be cinching them in a lot more than this and this. Also, for anyone wondering who does ribbing, I did 3 skips. So there's 3 skips in between each one of these rows. And on the bottom, I kind of alternated between 2 skips and 3 skips. I didn't really want to cinch in that much. That is what I'm working on. And then I have to just weave in the ends, and then it's done. All right, and here is the sweater. I think it looks really good. I am like really surprised that I made it as quick as I did. I've never made, okay, here's the thing. I've made sweaters and I've made granny stitch things before, but I've never made a granny stitch sweater. Cardigans, yes. But an actual sweater, no. And I think that this just turned out so cute, and like, I'm like, why haven't I done this before? The back is just the exact same as the front, except without that little cutout that I did for the front, but it's the same. I think it looks so gosh darn cute. First off, 18 hours, around 18 hours to make. That's not too bad for a sweater. Usually like a full sweater is anywhere from like 25 to 30 hours. This is definitely like a time saver. 3 hours was just attaching things together and weaving in ends. So I mean, technically it might have been like 15 hours to crochet everything, but then to assemble everything and like polish it up, it took some extra time, and I like to add that in the whole time because it counts. I was not too sure how this was gonna look. You know, in my head I had this idea, and I'm like, is this the right green? Should I have went with that other green that was a little bit more neon? But you know what? Compared to like the white and the black, this green looks very neon to me. Like it doesn't look as dull as I thought it was gonna look, which is good because I did not want it to look dull, but I feel like if I did the other one, it would have been too close to the white and how bright the white was. And I think it's a nice medium color because you got the bright white, you got the dark black, and then you got this green in the middle. Oh, it's raining again.
It's raining again.
Now for the cuffs, love this purple. I think that this purple, like part of me kind of regrets not adding purple to the whole thing. I think for where the purple is, it does add that like little touch of a different color, which I do like. I think for the bottom ribbing, I wish I would have made it a little bit longer. I do like a bigger ribbing on the bottom and on the cuffs, unfortunately. I've never made this like a granny stitch sweater, so I was kind of going off another sweater but because it's a different stitch, it was a little bit bigger than I thought. This down was a little bit longer, because if it went up to like, say, here, then I could have added like a really big ribbing on the bottom, but because it was already so long, I didn't want it to be a really long sweater. I really don't like those. I don't like how they look on me, so I just opted to go with a shorter ribbing here. And same for the cuffs. I kind of wish I would have made them a little bit more exaggerated, but because of how long the sleeve was, I just couldn't do that, unfortunately. What I will say though is the neck, the collar, this is probably the best neckline, the best collar that I have ever crocheted, okay? This is what I've wanted through the entirety of me making sweaters, and it never clicked until this project. All I did different is that in a regular project, I just make the front and the back exactly the same, like the exact same dimensions. And when I do that, this collar ends up kind of going up here, and then it's this weird kind of like oval shape around my neck where it's really tight in the front and the back, but there's a lot of room on the sides. And I know you can like put some sewing elastic in, which I probably would have done if that was the case. I love how this collar just sits on my neck, and it's because I had that little cutout. I left this big square, and part of me is like, it's a square. Is it like gonna be rounded once I put the collar in? Absolutely. If this is the type of collar you want, and this is the type of collar that I'm gonna be making going forward when all my projects, as I'm gonna be leaving a big old square opening and then attach it and then put the collar in, and it's gonna sit nice like this one. I'm so happy that I figured that out after how many years of making projects? How many years? I've been crocheting for a while now, and I just discovered this now, so still learning new things. I do think that if I were to make this type of sweater again, I would do that top-down raglan type of sweater, which I've done with a double crochet. Once I started doing this, I noticed that the person who had made the pattern for that top-down sweater that I've done a few times also made a version with the granny stitch. And I really wish I would have done that, because you wouldn't have this harsh line right here. It would just kind of flow. I would do that for the future. But another thing though is that I've never made this style before, so I really didn't know how big or how small to make it. So I think that now that I have the dimensions, that I know what I like, in the future I will attempt to do that one. This sweater is just 4 squares sewn together, and I added some ribbing, cuffs, and a collar, and that was it. I think I give this project probably like a 9 out of 10. The one mark I'm deducting is I think I might have made it a little bit too long before I put the ribbing on. It's the perfect length. Everything is the perfect length, like I think it is. It's just I would have started the ribbing a little bit higher, and I would have started the bottom a little bit higher as well, and would have gotten to the same length. That's it. That's the only thing that I think I did wrong. It's not even that wrong. It fits. I love it. I love the colors. It's perfect. It's Beetlejuicy, as Beetlejuice as it's gonna get. But I think that going forward, I'll take these notes and I'll know for the future just to make things a little bit shorter, because the ribbing will always add length. There's that. That does it for this video. So y'all have a good day now.